What's up, SnowTrax Nation? I'm here in Sherbrooke, Quebec at Skidoo's training facility, where I'll be joined by Skidoo product manager Vincent Deschenes and engineering project manager Etienne Girard to answer some of my questions and some of your questions about 2025's hottest models. Up next is the 2025 Expedition SE. Let's get into it. Vincent and Etienne, thank you for joining me again for another one of these videos where we are going to talk about, I guess, one of the most misunderstood segments in the industry, if you really break it down, and that is the utility market. This is a huge, huge part of the market, and people don't even understand that. And in Skidoo's lineup, you guys have a lot of different utility models in a couple different categories, but there's so much more than that. So why don't we start off by talking, what are the three main utility product lines that Skidoo offers?
Yeah, well, we have the, let's start with the pure utility. So the, let's say, heavy duty utility, the Scandic. So Scandic is 20 and 24 inches wide tracks, and with the telescopic suspension, so really meant to go in tight woods where it's really meant for work, really resistant to the environment it's working in. So the telescopic suspension helps to avoid like branches going through suspension and stuff like that. So really rugged type of vehicle. Then there's what we can call the little brother of the Scandic, the Tundra. So let's say a light utility vehicle. So same concept of front suspension, but narrower rear track. And then on the other side, we have the Expedition that we used to really consider as a utility sled back when it was on Rev XU platform. But since we moved it to Rev Gen 4, we changed its segment to crossover sport utility. So it's the most versatile vehicle that we have in our lineup. So depending on the package, could be offered in 16-inch wide with a sport package, or 20 up to 24 inches in the other packages of the Expedition. So really meant for on trail riding, off trail riding, towing, working with it, having fun. So it can do everything.
And this one also, the Expedition segment, has, let's say, the most offering in the engine.
Oh yeah, big time.
So yeah, we got the 600 Ace, the 900 Ace, the 900 Turbo, Turbo R, we got the 600R, the 600 DFI, and then the 850 in different segment, different models, but all in the Expedition.
So literally every engine that you offer is available in this.
Except the 850 Turbo, which
right,
we have
yes, no turbo.
specifically for
Not
some.
yet. I think that this model, the Expedition, you kind of hinted at this, it is the most versatile model in the whole Skidoo lineup. It can do more varied things than any other model, than any mountain sled, than any crossover sled. You know, we were talking earlier, I kind of likened it to the adventure bike of snowmobiles. I mean, it can go anywhere and do anything and get all your stuff in and out at the same time. Why don't we talk a little bit about the crossover nature of this sled? So it's very utility focused when you first look at it, but there are a lot of people who don't do a lot of utility with this. They just use it day to day. So talk to me about that market first.
Yeah, when we moved to the Rev Gen 4 in 2020, all the basic of the vehicle was based on Renegades. So, you know, we started from a trail sled and put everything that works with 20, 24 inches. So the comfort level of the Expedition is to the roof. I mean, this sled on trail is very, very capable, very comfortable, very stable as well. And when you go off trail with the 20-inch, 24 inches wide track, there's flotation.
It floats on the snow.
So performance off trail can do it all with the articulated rear suspension. If you get stuck, you can go backward, forward until you get out of your hole. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can do pretty much everything. You can tow something at the rear. On the Expedition SC that we have here with a huge 135 liter cargo box. I mean, there's a lot of things you could put in there and have a great weekend with the family.
Well, you can put your wife and you on the seats and then put your kids in the box and just close the lid and you don't have to listen to them. Don't recommend doing that. We have actually tested a few of these models over the years, and without a doubt, they have become extremely popular with our crew every time we go two-up riding because they are so incredibly comfortable. Talk to me a little bit about how the wider track options actually play into the comfort role. Why are they more comfortable with a gigantic track?
Well, the width of the track adds a lot of stability in the trail, and as well as the 154-inch track. That's a huge patch on the snow, I mean. So if you go through bumps, the 154-inch patch, obviously bridge bumps, and the 20-inch in the corner adds a lot of stability. Even though it's a 39-inch ski stance, there's a lot of stability while cornering with those vehicles. The seat is quite wide, very plushy, so the comfort level is really high.
The front of the vehicle too is quite a bit larger. When you've always got a giant windshield on these models, there's none of them that come with a low windshield. So I've always found you can pretty much just ride in a t-shirt back there, and you're comfortable and warm, and everybody's happy. Let's talk a little bit about what makes this sled. So you mentioned the 39-inch front end. Talk to me about the componentry around here and what's unique about it.
We have the 39-inch front end because we need to work with the vehicle, okay? So we need to go in tight woods and tight trails. When you go to your cabin, to your shack, often there's a small trail that you need to open, so we need something tight to work with. So that's why we choose the front end that way instead of a trail front end, which would be too wide. And then we have, let's say, different track options also for different type of people. So we have, let's say, the 1.5 and 1.5 studded for, let's say, more trail-oriented one. And we offer also the 1.8, which is more, let's say, for deep snow or off-trail type of riding that you want to have for the vehicle. So that's options that you have on this one.
Talk to me about the skid frame, because this is a unique skid frame in your lineup. I don't think it's the same as anything else.
No, well, on the Expedition, it's the same shared with the Scandic.
Okay.
So as I said earlier, articulated rear of the suspension to help to move forward in deep snow. So since you don't want to these machines are obviously heavier than deep snow machines, so it's not a type of machine that you will lift and move around. So you need to make the machine work for you. So having the ability to move forward and backward. This helps definitely to get out of deep snow if you're in trouble.
What do you call this skid frame?
SC5U.
SC5U. So SC5 utility articulated. Very interesting. And I also noticed it's not hard to spot just looking down here. You've got some pretty serious skis on this too. Talk to me about the skis. What are they based on, and what are the different features for the utility?
These are the Pilot 7.4. So it's a new ski that we brought with the RevGen 4 platform. A lot wider than what we used to have. We used to use the DS2 skis that, let's say, we can find on a backcountry. So these skis are really meant for, let's say, utility wide tracks configuration, adding flotation, a bit less, more on the sporty side, more on the utility side.
Do they offer any extra turning grip to compensate for the wide track?
The keel is quite aggressive at slow speed, at high speed. There's quite a good grips with those skis. So yeah, yes, you tell it the 154-inch pushes a bit more in the corner by configuration. So having those skis help to easy the turning.
Especially when you tow or you have, let's say, heavy load on the tunnel. At one point, you need to have the aggressive ski to track.
I can say that after riding these models a fair bit amount, I've never noticed that the steering was exceptionally heavy in any way, but I did notice that they actually handled really, really well. And that's surprising when you've got a 20-inch 154 track. It shouldn't go around a corner. It should just go straight all the time, but it does go around a corner. So very Skidoo-like in terms of its precision, even for a vehicle this big. Let's talk about some of the more unique utility features. These models come with, storage in certain places that you don't find it on other models. They come with features, transmission, gearing, things like that. That's all kind of unique to the category. So let's talk about that.
So for sure, on the SE models, we offer it with a 135-liter cargo box at the back. This is a really popular accessory, so that we sell a lot to people that don't buy it with the SE, so people who got the Expedition LE or the Xtreme. A lot of people buy this accessory because it's very versatile. We can put a lot of stuff in it, so that's a really cool accessory. You said about the transmission. That's another good point. So we have, let's say, a high and a low on the transmission. So if you tow something heavy and you want to go, let's say, a slow speed, or even if you get stuck at one point, you want to go a crawl with the vehicle, you can do it in the low mode. So that's a really useful thing to have. Let's say we got a lot of compliment on that one, especially since we moved to the Gen 4 platform. The old one on the XU was more, let's say, difficult to work with. This one is really, really easy and soft, so that's a good one.
And does that transmission come in all engine configurations?
Yeah, all the 20 and 24 inches got the transmission. The Expedition Sport, which is the entry level, the 16 inches, doesn't get the transmission, but all the other ones, they got it.
Okay, very interesting. I know that we have played around with the transmission, and it's quite interesting riding in low range. It's a totally weird experience to have the engine revving that high, but not going very fast. We've never towed anything exceptionally heavy with it, but knowing that you could is always comfort.
Yeah, if you needed to move at a slow pace, let's say move into your trailer or in your garage, you can put it in the low gear, in eco mode if you have a 4-stroke, and then you can really crawl without scratching everything if you have a studded track or whatever. So
let's talk about some of the comfort features that make two-up riding on this sled so good. I mean, you've got Grand Tourings, which are the industry's most comfortable touring sleds, no question. But when you get on this thing, you start to go, maybe there's challengers for that title. What makes this thing such a great two-up sled? Why is it so comfortable?
Well, obviously the seat configuration is very, very nice. Wide, plushy seat, and even for the passenger, I mean, high backrest, great handles that are heated as well. So there's a lot for the driver, but also for the passenger. And everything about the wind protection has been thought for two-up riding. Okay. So the windshield was in its development phase, was tested with a passenger to make sure that not only the driver gets the air bubble, but also the passenger at the rear to maximize the comfort of both. Because yes, there's a fair amount of time that these sleds will be used in a two-up configuration.
Right.
And also, like I said earlier, we offer so much engine configuration into this, and people really like, let's say, the 900 Ace, which is really a low noise vehicle, low vibration, no harshness. This is the quietest engine we have, so people really like it, especially passengers, because it's not noisy at all. So you can play with it, you can work with the sled, and you don't get annoyed by the noise.
Well, that 900 Ace engine too is so incredibly smooth. There's no jerkiness for the passenger. You never feel like you're being, whipped around back there. That you can when you're riding an 850 or a turbo sometimes. Let's talk a little bit about the different models of Expedition. You hinted at that a little earlier. The Expedition models really do go from mild to wild, don't they?
Yeah, so if we start at the bottom of the food chain, we have the Sport package, or entry-level models offered in 3 different engines. So 600 EFI, 600 Ace, 900 Ace. So these are 16-inch wide, very affordable. We find these a lot in rental operators, commercial operators as well. And then you move to the LE package. So this different engine configuration, 2-stroke, 4-stroke. This is available with 20 or 24 inches. This is, let's say, very similar to the SE, but with less amenities, so no cargo box and
smaller gauge
and stuff like that. Then if we look at the SE that we have here, it's fully equipped, so bigger gauge. We have the air suspension at the rear, so adjustable on the fly, depending on the weight you're carrying with your sled. The cargo box that comes standard with it. And the black sheep of the Expedition family is the Expedition Xtreme, so a bit more oriented towards off-trail riding. This one is kind of internally we called it, when we developed it, the Summit 20-inch. So yeah, a really wild Expedition, so available with the 900 Ace Turbo R and the 850. So really meant for performance-oriented, but very versatile at the same time, with the 20-inch, being able to tow, to go play in the deep snow. So someone that has a cabin and want to bring the family, you can put a 2-up seat as an accessory, bring your wife or kid. Then when you arrive at the spot, you can remove everything, get a lighter sled, and go play in the deep.
We did have a question from a viewer. His name is David Evely. And what he wanted to know is, can you get a 20-inch wide track with an 850 E-TEC in any Expedition model?
That's not an offering we have right now. So the 850 is offered on the SE and 20-inch, and the Xtreme also 20-inch. So that's the only configuration we offer the 850 right now.
But fun fact is we've seen on social media some consumer making their own. So that's really interesting. We even see some consumer doing Scandic 24 inches with 850. So some people are quite
creative.
Yeah, creative.
Scandic Xtreme.
Yeah.
Right on. I think one of the, most interesting, we've kind of hinted at this a little bit, but one of the most interesting things about this sled is the sheer amount of accessories that are available for it and the amount of configurations you can make with those accessories. I mean, you can turn this thing into almost anything using BRP accessories that are currently available. So why don't we talk about a few of the popular configurations that you guys have seen, or the popular usages people use it for, and how there's accessories to help with that.
Let's say if I start, well, we got a bunch of accessories for protection. So a lot of bumpers, full wraparound bumpers for the front of the vehicle, rear bumpers as well to add towing capacity. So there's a towing capacity with the standard bumper, but if you want to increase your towing capacity, there's an additional heavy duty bumper that you can add. So that's part of the popular accessories. There's a lot of
heavy duty springs. We offer that also. It's if you want to tow or to put some more loads on the vehicle, or let's say ride it with the passenger all the time with a lot of loads, you need to change your spring to make it, let's say, more comfortable.
So if I want to go ice fishing, what do I want for this thing if I'm going to be an ice fisherman?
Well, we have a bunch of accessories. So we have the ice auger holder. Then we have coolers as well, link coolers. So you can put your fish in. And then depending on what time you're going to your spot, we have a bunch of accessory lights. So you can have more lighting if you are starting your day quite early or ending quite late. So this could be helpful for a fisher for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about towing and hauling. I mean, there's got to be number limits associated with those. So what are those limits?
So the payload on the tunnel is 125 pound, and you can tow up to 1,200 pound with the production unit. And if you buy the accessory via bumper, you can go up to 1,500 pounds.
1,500 pounds. And now BRP sells the Link Sleigh, which is super versatile. So if you run at a link space or accessory space on the vehicle, you can hook on a sleigh, load up 1,500 pounds, and you can buy all kinds of accessories for that, can't you?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and you can add link accessories on top of the link.
You have to take out a mortgage on your house. Let's say you're a trapper. Are there some accessories that you can think of that would work good for that? Are there any other usage scenarios that you know are popular for this vehicle?
Well, one cool accessory that is new in 2025, and it might not be really for a trapper, but it could be for if he needs to, is the double decker, what we call the double decker. So we have the base link multi-link plate. It's kind of adding a second one. So you can, let's say, put two jerry can at the bottom and add on top of that accessories. So there's multiple things that you can do. So you can, for that kind of user, you could add axe holder, chainsaw holder. So all of those kind of stuff are offered in our accessory catalog.
But it really does speak to the versatility of the vehicle. It can become whatever you want it to be. One of the things I think is really interesting about the Expedition lineup is that the lineup includes the #1 selling SKU for any Ski-Doo snowmobile. So tell me about what that model is and why you think it's so popular, more so than anything else in the lineup.
It's the Expedition Sport 900 Ace. So this model obviously has a proven engine, 4-stroke reliability. This engine has been in the market since a long time with a proven record. This is a model that can be used for multiple purpose. It could be rental operators, but also consumers are using that for many, many things. So it's a very versatile unit. You can be used around the house, trails, doing trail riding, off-trail riding. So it can do pretty much everything.
Very friendly engine to just about anyone, but still powerful enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
And affordable.
Yeah.
For that model. Very interesting. Well, I think that would surprise a lot of people to know that the #1 selling Ski-Doo isn't an MXZ, it's not a Summit, it's an Expedition. And maybe Expedition needs to get a little bit more respect than it has been getting in the past.
For a single SKU.
For a single SKU, yes, that's right. Even still, that's pretty impressive. What gauges are available on the Expeditions?
So the most entry-level models are having the 4.5-inch digital display. The SC comes standard with the 7.2-inch digital display, and as an option, we have the 7.8 color display. So not the 10.25-inch touchscreen display, the latest one, but the former high-end model that we have of display.
Right.
Yep.
I noticed it's got the jog dial there on the dash, so it's got the older navigation system, but it still worked. Now, with such a wide range of engine options, the question will beg to be asked, why have so many? Like, why have a 600 EFI and a 600 E-TEC? What is the purpose in that? And in our discussions previously, you've given me some very good, valid reasons about why you've got all of these motors that sometimes seem to overlap a bit.
Well, like you say, we have different type of engine because we have different type of use. It's a very versatile vehicle, so people really like either the 4-stroke for, let's say, more quietness. People really like the 2-stroke for more punch, more let's say,
Lighter weight.
Lighter weight also, that's a huge one, lightweight. Let's say I talked a lot about the 900 Ace, but we also have the counterpart in the 2-stroke, which is the 600 EFI. That's a really reliable engine, so people really liked it. Up north, when it's getting really, really cold, we got the 600. They buy the 600 EFI, and it starts from the first start. So it's really reliable. So people really like this engine also. So that's why we offer it along with all the other type of engine.
So to match all the varied usage scenarios that this vehicle can handle, you've got a motor for everybody from a high performance all the way down to the most basic, easy to use, quiet. And then I really like what you said about the 600 EFI, because a lot of people discount that motor as being low technology, old, whatever, but it actually has very good usability in certain cases that really not a lot of other stuff can match. So very interesting that you've got that many motor options and that they all have their specific reason for being there.
Mm-hmm. And if I can add on that, it's interesting that when we launched the first 900 Ace Turbo back then, we were asking ourselves, should we bring it in the Expedition family? I mean, we were used to have a lower HP engines, but those consumers are as proud as Summit owners, as MXZ owners, so we don't want to let them on the side. We're listening more and more to their needs. So that's why we like to bring new colors as well. They want to show pride with their sled. They have nice pickup trucks, those guys. So they're as proud as their pickup as they are for their sleds. So when we did put finally the turbo in the Expedition, that was a huge success for that. So now we're confirming to ourselves that those consumers are looking for the top of the line. So that's why we have the ones that are more affordable up to the very high-end models, and we're covering a huge market with this wide offering.
Well, that's an interesting point. Guys who want a utility snowmobile, generally speaking, don't care too much about how it looks. They just want it to work. And it doesn't matter if it's yellow or black, as long as it gets them home every day and tows all their junk and gets them where they're going. But with the Expedition being so versatile and being a largely recreational vehicle, there's so many people using it not for work at all, you really did have to step up with more premium, comfortable features. And we talked about this earlier, more premium colors, so that a person isn't just getting a utility vehicle anymore. They're now getting a luxury crossover vehicle, really.
Yeah, we used to think, or there was a misconception about where are coming the consumers from Expedition, because we were seeing a growth in that segment. And we first thought that it was Grand Touring owners that were moving to Expedition. But in fact, it's all segments that are moving to the Expedition because of the versatility of that model. So it can even be MXZ owners that move to Expedition. They could be Grand Touring owners, but also a Summit owners. So the Expedition, since the move to Gen 4, is growing, is the most fast growing segment that we have at Ski-Doo.
Thank you so much, Vincent and Etienne, for joining me in this video and providing all that great information about the Expedition lineup. I know I learned a whole lot. I'm sure our viewers did as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And keep in mind that this is just one video of a 4-video series, so make sure you check out the other 3 for all the information you could possibly need on Ski-Doo's 2025 model lineup. And definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming information.